I feel like they can continue this. I feel like they can continue the Fast series with Bow Wow. Y'all, he's an underrated. You want to talk about underrated actors? Bow Wow is a pretty solid actor. Go back and watch Lottery Ticket. He's a pretty good actor. I will. You don't like Lottery Ticket? You don't like Lottery Ticket? You don't like Mike?
What does he do?
How do we
vote,
don't like that?
How do we vote people off the podcast? let's discuss.
My gosh, thank you.
All right, welcome back to another episode of What We Watching. How you guys feeling today? Mixed feelings.
The heat, man. The heat.
Yeah, heat game's on right now.
Yeah.
It's game 2. I know it's probably coming out a week or 2 from now, but
yeah. Hopefully, there's a different situation going on.
Right. We're just game 2. You guys know what happened. You can look it up. But I got I think a fun topic today. Yeah. And a good movie, I think, or we'll see what we think about this movie. I forgot which one I put first. That's what I'm like, oh.
We've got a good scroll.
We gotta hold on.
No, but you're right. We definitely
I had the wrong notes app open.
Speaking of, I do have notes today. I do have notes. Surprisingly, well, depending, I don't know what.
How long? Like you have a paper, or you have a?
It's a thesis.
Jesus Christ!
But really, it's just me just talking to myself for real.
Okay, so you just
some of this stuff I probably won't even go through. I just am talking to myself. So like.
And there's no way you type that on your phone,
bro.
No, I'm telling
you. There's
like
a scene, one act 4.
Oh, the dictation.
Yo, yeah, I do the dictation.
There's that thing has a table of contents.
It's indented correctly. It has colons.
I
will speak now, and I will say this. This is my
closing,
script.
I believe that this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just be talking to my phone, like watching, just be like, yo, okay, interesting. So yeah, we're noted up today. Excited.
I ain't need no notes.
All off the dome. Maybe. Just checking. But so today's topic was suggested by Gabriel himself. Are you gonna bleep that? You want everyone to know your?
I don't care.
I know we call you Gabe.
No one pronounces it
Gabe
correctly.
Can't be short for anything else. But
yeah, it's like what else?
But yeah, the topic was suggested by Gabe, and it was what movie would you be embarrassed to admit that you like, or if I put movie or movies.
Omari.
Well,
I already know what Gabe. But I already know what Gabe wants you to say.
Well, the thing is, okay, so I'm not embarrassed to love this movie at all. Mm-hmm. But in a job interview, I was interviewing for a job at a small production studio in Atlanta, and
his justification.
He didn't get the job.
Before he
get the job. I know this.
It's so crazy but they was really looking at me crazy because they were like, "What film like can you watch over and over and over again? You can't get enough of it." Oh my god! And I said, "White Chicks." I was like, "Yo, White Chicks is like the greatest comedy of all time. I think it's the funniest movie I've ever seen in my life." And the lady was looking at me like I know the movie front to back. I know every single line. Like it's my favorite comedy of all time, and the lady in front, she just could not understand like the words that were coming out of my mouth. Like I had 3 eyes, and I was like, "Yo, like what? Did I miss something? I thought White Chicks was legendary. Like what's going on here?"
Yeah. In that situation, just hit a quick JK just for.
I was, but I held firm because I believe that White Chicks deserves. What, Gabe? It deserves. You know it does.
I'm just saying, like, you should have held firm, man. They should. If they don't accept you for who you are, you don't need them. But saying it's the greatest comedy of all time,
I think it's the greatest thing. I think, at the very least, it's the funniest shit the Wayans ever did to me.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, the Wayans are up there.
All right.
You know.
All right.
No, I definitely think it's a good movie, and I don't know if I'd say the best comedy.
It's not really embarrassing.
It's not what?
It's not embarrassing. A lot of people like White Chicks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In that moment, though, they tried to make it seem like that was the case, though.
Man, half the black community learned that "Making My Way Downtown" from that song, from that movie.
I mean, not even the black community, but even more so, it's like a social trend now.
Yeah, it's definitely a pop culture.
That movie definitely made it that.
Yeah, for sure. But that was my little moment. I guess maybe I can think of another one while y'all go off.
Yeah, we thought you were gonna say Tokyo Drift.
I was gonna start singing and then give you
Boom!
hints.
There
And
you
then
go.
you
I'll
said-
take
you
that
said-
one too.
Thought you
You
were
said
gonna say
white-
I'll take that one too. Because
You
I
said
be
white
doing.
chicks, and I completely thrown off. I was like, "Why are you embarrassed?"
Yo,
let us give some background to this. We were discussing the upcoming Fast and Furious
Fast
movie.
10 is it? What is it?
9. I think it's Fast 9.
20 is
Yeah,
out
we're
in theaters.
discussing it, and I was saying how I'm not the biggest fan of superhero movies, but I actually was looking forward to Fast 9 more than superhero movies, and because I think we need like a blockbuster to get people excited about going to the movies again.
Because The Rock is a superhero.
And
Basically.
and they were discussing how they were tired of all the Fast and Furious movies, and everybody's like dropping, and I was like, well,
Correction, not me. I'm not tired of.
yeah, I'm not
I'll
either.
go-
But people were saying they were
Yeah,
tired of like
Gabe
the
was
Fast
very
and
vocal
Furious.
about-
People saying they was tired of Fast and Furious movies, and I was like, well, I started listing out the ones that I thought was good. Omari comes in, super hot, and was like, yeah, the best one was Tokyo Drift.
He might have used the slam emoji too.
I just,
I mean, the slam. What do you call it? The slam function.
other one was like loud, like,
Like, yo,
ooh.
you got a lot of dip on your chip.
He's like number one, the one that changed the game.
Like, so
I was
strong.
like, oh, he's definitely gonna be like number 2, maybe like I don't know, maybe what was it 5 when they were in Brazil, whatever. That was
Right,
my
Fast
favorite.
5.
Bro, he
No.
said
Tokyo
Tokyo Drift.
I was like, yo, are you talking about
just
the
crickets.
one with the incredibly unique storyline where a guy moves to a new town and gets into it with people there and has to somehow win them over? And then you have the only black guy in the film who hustles and sells rims and
That was
Jordans?
the main thing of the argument.
Is
Gabe
this
going
is
in on
this the
Bow Wow.
movie? Is
That
this
had to
the
be the
loved
funniest
it.
shit.
is this the movie that you're referring to where Shad
Shad
Moss
Moss?
is a co-star? Is that what we're talking about right now?
What kind of car they had him driving
What
to?
kind of name is Shad?
A Hulk. What was it, like Nissan Cube or what was it?
Yes, he had a tricked out Nissan Cube with a Hulk punch going through it on the side. You know that shit was cold.
They introduced him by having him try to hustle Jordans to this guy. I just want you to know this.
The only black person.
The only black person.
Omari's like,
Here's
that's
what you
it.
need to understand. Tokyo Drift. You want to talk about pop cultural phenomenon? Tokyo Drift essentially introduced drifting to the world. Basically, it popularized an entire genre of race car driving.
Everyone was trying to drift.
Everyone was trying to drift. Even in video games, I couldn't even drive at the time, and I'm sitting in Grand Theft Auto trying to drift my freaking Camaro or whatever was in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. But the point is, Shad Moss is aside. I believe that even the song doink 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 doink.
It's a banger, bro.
Like, what other fast movie has like a theme song for real? On top of that, you got a super bad.
Well,
shorty.
actually,
you
Fast
like-
Five.
you like
Fast
that song?
Five had what do you call it?
Yeah, you don't like that song? I don't know who.
If
AJ
if-
pulled up.
Fast
if-
Five had
If anime
That's a good
porn
one.
had a
Yeah.
TV show, that would be the theme song for it.
He said what?
If anime porn had a TV show, that would be the theme song for it. I'm so
I
confused.
thought-
Like when I heard this song, it reminds me of, I don't know if you guys watch Friends, but it reminds me of the episode of Friends where Joey is embarrassed because he just shot
Oh,
a
yeah,
commercial
yeah.
and it's a lipstick, it's a Japanese lipstick commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on TV and it's like that kind of music in the background with him puckering his
Friends.
lips up to the. Yeah, that's
What did you
wild.
think
That's
about?
wild.
Here's the thing, and so crazy. Not just my mind, just crazy. They're saying, they're like, oh, Fast and Furious. They're running out of stuff for the stories and stuff. I was like, yo, let's bring it back to basics, yo. Take Shad Moss. I feel like they can continue this. I feel like they can continue the Fast series with Bow Wow. Y'all, he's an underrated. You want to talk about underrated actors? Bow Wow is a pretty solid actor. Go back and watch Lottery Ticket. He's a pretty good actor. He's a pretty.
I will.
You don't like Lottery Ticket?
I will. you
You don't like Lottery Ticket?
you
You don't like Mike?
you
What does he do?
Brandon T. Jackson? We
vote,
don't like that?
How do we vote people off the podcast? let's discuss.
My gosh, thank you.
He just referred to Lottery Ticket
Lottery Tickets are not. That's
in
a
the
good,
in the
Lottery Ticket's
defense
solid.
of Shad Moss's acting.
Solid.
If you would have went to like Mike, what's the movie where he's
Oh yeah, like Mike. Yeah.
yeah, that's a much better performance.
Yeah.
Lottery Ticket.
Here's the deal, though. Like, out of all the actors that have been featured in the Fast series, I mean, Bow Wow's. Come on.
He's up where?
Gal Gadot. He a better actor than Gal Gadot.
Man,
Come on.
I don't know, man.
He a better actor than the protagonist of Tokyo Drift. He a better actor than Vin Diesel.
He was lit in Friday Night Lights though.
He's not a better actor than Vin Diesel.
You don't think he's a better actor than Vin Diesel?
He's not a better actor.
Because Vin Diesel.
Well, I shouldn't say that because he doesn't have to show range. He plays the same character and everything.
Well, he's his own lawyer. What are you talking about? Find Me Guilty.
Oh yeah,
we watched
there's
that.
no
Was
way.
good. That was
There's
good.
no way he's
But
better than
lately,
Vin
it's
Diesel.
been a while. I saw that last Riddick film. I saw some other stuff. I'm like, all right,
What was
Vin.
it? Triple X or Stated?
Yeah, but what Chad Moss's last film was Lottery Ticket.
Yeah, it was.
Like, yo,
I feel like he can get back in though.
Yo, you're
but
wilding
just real
today.
quick to finish it up, I feel like on top of Tokyo Drift, I think they need to tap back into that moment, but then bring it back down to size. We don't need to be going to space. We don't need to be, jumping from building to building, all this wild, fast, Mission Impossible. Bring it back to the city level, yo. Let's start racing cars again for real. I think they should take it to Atlanta or something, be in the Atlanta streets and going crazy and racing's huge in Atlanta. That would be so dope. But that's a whole nother.
Dunk cars. You heard
The
of
dunks.
No,
pull up in
I'm serious. The
Oh, yeah,
dunk
you could-
cars.
you could do
they're-
dunks.
You ever heard of them?
Yeah, no,
Man,
I know.
you
that.
could,
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what I'm saying when you
Camaros
say.
out here, too,
Oh, yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. But I'm saying if
Yo.
you're gonna
They're
say go
racing
to
those.
yeah, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
They race them.
Yeah, they do race them.
They
Oh, I
race.
didn't
They
know that.
yeah, it's a
Atlanta
big.
now,
It's a
it's
big
like,
thing. They
If you don't pull up in
trick
that
out the
scat
cars and
pad,
race
you
them.
don't pull up in that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a crazy Charger,
just
crazy
like-
Challenger. But anyways,
and
Tokyo Drift to me is quite iconic.
In this upcoming Fast 9 movie, they're gonna go to space, and in space is where they're gonna find Chad Moss's acting abilities, and they're gonna bring it back with them, and then that way they can reinsert him into
Put a pause button up.
the Fast series. But you got some wild takes today, man. Tokyo
Just
Drift is the
like,
best
he just was
Fast.
building them on-
Lottery Ticket is a good movie.
Lottery
He
Ticket
has
is a very
lot.
great family film. Brandon T. Jackson, another underrated young black performer of his day. We're all forgetting. We have to remember, guys. We have to remember. Y'all remember that scene on top of the thing? And he was like, "I'm broke, nigga." I felt
Lottery.
that.
When you say Lottery Ticket, you're referring to the movie where they're fighting over the sneakers.
Well, they're definitely fighting over a lottery ticket. I don't remember
The
no
lottery
sneakers.
ticket. And here's the plot of said movie.
I'm sad movie.
He has a winning lottery ticket. He has to wait to cash it in, so he gets a loan from a local loan shark so he can get money in advance. He takes said money and buys these one-of-a-kind Air Forces from out of the mall, and a local ex-con knocks him out and takes the shoes from him.
Right.
He also almost gets someone pregnant.
Right.
So basically, every negative stereotype that you've ever heard about the African American community in one movie,
That's what I love.
starring Chad Moss,
Chad Moss, baby.
apparently is cinematic gold.
I do. Oh, it's cinematic gold. Please.
If he rewrites Mortal Kombat, there's gonna be a lot of the same drugs.
Cinematic gold. You're gonna hear fuck. This is it. That's it right there. Lottery ticket, Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, you need a timeout. So AJ, what?
So wait, I want to make sure. I don't think Tokyo Drift is terrible. Or I don't even think it's. I don't know if I think it's the worst one, but I definitely know it's not up there. And they kind of went a weird way,
It's for sure the
and then
worst
they
one.
reeled it back. They reeled it back in.
They legit.
But-
They did Tokyo Drift, and 4 and 5 were them trying to find a way to make Tokyo Drift make sense. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, I guess so. They were like, all right, we're definitely gonna go this way, and they're like, wait, hold on. I guess we paid for the movie it's made. We just got to release it and figure out how
Yeah,
we're
'cause
gonna fix it.
I remember you was
They
like,
came out really quick after each other too. I feel
yeah,
like.
and I remember you was like, oh, that's the one we got introduced to Han.
Yeah, but yeah,
But he
Right,
dies. They have to say that 4 and 5 happens before 3.
Yeah, Tokyo Drift is set in the future.
Now
That
it's- yeah.
version, of the future.
Exactly. See how wild of a stretch that is? That's what they're going to space for, to change time, to go back and All right, I'm just done.
You're ruining the whole movie. You seen the movie, Gabe?
I'm done.
Wait, of the latest one, you seen the latest one?
No.
It sounds like it.
I was like, damn, that's what
I was
happenens
like,
for
bro,
real.
tell me more about the movie.
Did they go back in time, nigga?
Yeah, they're gonna go back in time and
Fast to the Future. Is this what this
delete
is?
Tokyo
And
Drift
they say
from
Tokyo
the
Drift never
series.
happened.
They erased it.
That's gonna be lit.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Damn.
All right,
All right, so I kind of had like trouble thinking about like what movies I was embarrassed to like, but I think I just had to say like probably chick flick comedies like Bridesmaids and like Mean Girls
So
because they're funny.
Mean
I feel like they're
Girls.
kind of classic or whatever, but
Yeah.
especially Bridesmaids. Bridesmaids is just good in general, but
So when you guys asked me on the first episode, like what kind of movies I like, I literally say rom-com. So
yeah.
so I'm not embarrassed. But the movie that I am embarrassed to say out loud, I don't even know if I've ever said it out loud to anyone.
Oh no, yeah, you're saying it in front of a mic.
Is Sex in the City.
Really, the film, the feature film.
Yeah, the movie, man. It actually has a good storyline.
Really?
Torch. Not even by us, but he's gonna get torched.
Oh
It
god.
actually has a good storyline.
Sarah
And
Jessica Parker.
Listen, I didn't sign up to go see it.
Okay.
I got drugged to go see the movie.
Okay, that's fair.
I lost the bet, got drugged to go see the movie, and then after watching, I was like, you know what? I mean, it's better than Tokyo Drift.
It's better than Tokyo Drift.
I've seen worse.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's a bad movie, but
You know, I haven't seen it or the sequel. I haven't seen it. I think I've seen maybe one. My mom used to watch the show, so I used to see like little clips here and there of the show. And I know people love the cast. So I'm guessing a lot of people like that first film. I know a lot of people were crapping on that second
was
one.
the show made out before or after the movie?
Before.
Before.
Yeah, it was a super popular. Like,
Yeah, I know.
mad
The show went on for
I
a
think
while.
it still comes on now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
big time. And they were fans wanted a third one. They wanted like a Sex in the
Nah,
City
we know
trilogy.
how bad the
sex
third
trilogy.
movie can be.
Oof. Yeah.
I.e. Tokyo Drift.
Was that three? Oh,
Was that the third one?
It was
That sure was the
three.
third one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sure was the third one.
I was just
Guys,
listening to Story and Gabe.
Guys, we
All right, fine.
we know about
Tokyo Drift's the worst one.
We know
I'm
about
convinced.
Tokyo Drift, okay? We not gonna let him do this to Tokyo Drift like that, okay?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we know. It
Honestly,
could be for bad reasons.
Honestly, I feel like if we ask Omari his top 5, he's just gonna try to slide in Shad Moss at number 4. Lottery ticket. Top 10 movie.
Top movie ever.
Shad Moss
I
was in
think
it.
Shad Moss is a lot of fun. I think why do we call him Shad?
Like Mike.
Bow Wow. Bow Wow is a lot of
He's
fun on
grown.
screen. I don't think he's terrible
we asked
at all.
Omari, what kind of movies do you want to see? Do you are we missing? Oh, I just think we need black movies with like intellectual humor.
Well, all of his favorite
And
things.
then Lottery Ticket.
No, I'm saying Lottery Ticket was a fun film. Yes, we do need more smarter stuff, but you can have a couple little things. I mean, Lottery Ticket is better than. I don't want to keep going. I don't want to keep talking about Tyler Perry, but damn it, the Lottery Ticket's it's at a level where you can enjoy it with the fam.
Shad Moss
He was
in
definitely in that
movie too.
family reunion movie or Big Happy Family. Yes, he was.
And you liked it?
But I feel like Big Happy Family wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Because Shad Moss isn't.
Well, look, Shad is not terrible. I think that he could carry a film. I don't think that he's like a terrible.
I don't know. So I'm not gonna say that he's a bad.
No, yeah.
I just think the roles that he's gotten has not been like since the Like Mike. The roles that he's gotten has not been like strong enough
like they're not,
stories to show that he can actually act.
Yeah.
Like I believe him in these roles. It's just that the storylines and the things they have him doing in these movies is like, yo, you can't get any wilder than some of the stuff that's going. Like I said,
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift, he's introduced by trying to sell you fake Jordans. And then Lottery Ticket, he like almost gets this girl pregnant. He blows his lottery ticket money in a day at the mall, mostly on sneakers, gets knocked out and get the sneakers taken from him, like in the middle of a block party. And like it's just like
and
there's
he does come
literally
around and
nothing.
he does come around though and invest in the community. He goes back and he's building a business with his day one homies.
Oh, you talking about all that stuff that happened like basically during the credits.
Last
Yes.
with the little line, the one-liners.
We don't get to see any building of the foundation of a healthier community. No, we don't. We don't.
That's
get
just
that.
how they tie it up.
We don't know, but all the stereotypical drama and craziness, yes, we do get a full helping of that in Lottery Ticket. One of the greatest comedies.
One of the greatest comedies of all time.
One of the greatest comedies of all time, right next to White Chicks.
So, Sex and the City was yours?
Yep.
Okay.
And this would actually be a good question to ask some of our viewers. What's a movie that they're embarrassed to say that they like?
Yeah, for sure.
And if it's Tokyo Drift, my God.
How many votes does Tokyo Drift?
I highly doubt. I mean,
because it's such a great film. Like no one would say they're embarrassed to watch it.
I mean, it's fun. It's a fun film. It is.
I hope no. But yeah, so moving on into the movie of today, Life, Eddie Murphy.
So since we're talking about the greatest comedy movie of all time,
The greatest comedy. This is it.
To me,
Yeah.
it's at least in the top 5.
Omari, do you have a
It's at least in Life.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I think it's timeless as we're going into whatever.
Yeah, I think if you started the movie right now and I heard the intro music with my eyes closed and the movie was playing, I could probably say every line for line. And there's so many good jokes. Yeah. So I mean, how you say you like a star-studded cast? My goodness.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Mac, Martin, Eddie Murphy, Anthony Anderson.
Bernie Mac in it was so good.
I know.
Rick James.
Even the opening, I had totally forgot. I'm like, not Heavy D. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Heavy, not Heavy Hev.
Yeah. So to me, Life is, if not the greatest, it's top 5 comedy movies of all time to me.
Okay. Well, you know it.
Yeah, I know it.
Word for word, you want to give a little description on it or something? Or anyone who may have not seen it, the minority?
Yeah, the movie the movie Life is based off the time period of 1932.
Yes, Prohibition era still.
Yeah, right. 1932, and it's these two gentlemen who are in New York at the time, two black gentlemen who are in New York, and they're in a club, and one dude is on a date. He's celebrating getting a new job. Another dude seems to be just a sketchy guy who's always like getting into stuff he's not supposed to. He ends up pickpocketing Martin Lawrence character and trying to pay someone back, but it's still not enough. Mm-hmm. They both, the owner of the restaurant ends up catching them both because now Martin doesn't have money to pay the bill, and he's basically getting ready to kill him. And Eddie Murphy's character saves them from being killed by saying that he knows someone who bootlegs liquor down in Mississippi, and they can make a run and come back and make him a whole bunch of money. And so he agrees. They take a trip to Mississippi, and they stop to go into this kind of like gambling place or whatever.
A bar, yeah.
Yeah, and this dude ends up hustling Eddie Murphy out of his money in a card game, and that guy ends up like disappearing. But then when they run into him outside, he's dead, and the cop who actually kills him, they find not the cop. These guys who they walk up, they see them next to the body. They turn them in to the cops, and the cops are the ones who actually killed this guy. But they arrest him and put him away for life for murder, and they get put into this Mississippi prison, and they basically the rest of the movie is basically about them like life inside the prison, them trying to escape, etc.
Yep.
Yeah, a whole bunch of foolery ensues in between.
Yeah, it was funny, but also like I feel like I didn't even consider it the fun, like top 5 funniest, like you were saying, even though it was really funny, there's a lot of good parts, because that overlaying line of like, hey, they're in prison, and this is a prison to slavery parallel, and they're clearly showing you this, and so much like everyone in there is probably in there for some. I mean, not everyone, probably half of the people have just been pinned or were the blame casted on them. They didn't get like a due trial or whatever.
No, so, I disagree.
You what?
I disagree with that. Like the half.
I said some of them probably though.
Well, they go around the table discussing why they're in there.
Right.
And this is like,
okay, but it's like we see 10. What do you call it? characters of probably 50
True,
actual
Right,
inmates.
right,
or
right.
so I'm
True,
just
true.
like with the thinking of how they got put in there. Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, how they got put in prison. I'm just like, all right, I know this is what's going on, and they're never gonna parole them. And they can literally just treat them however, like the guards can treat them however they want, even treat them however they want, even though they're not supposed to or whatever. So
Yeah. And there are definitely some very grim themes in this film. I totally forgot. But I think the one that sticks out to me the most, I guess, would just kind of jump around. But Miguel Nunez, from another great black film classic, the star of Juwanna Mann, his character definitely probably had maybe the darkest moment in the film. I totally forgot about. Where essentially, he was afraid. I mean, it's clear that, he was a gay character, and he was afraid of going back home. He got in his release papers and was like, yo, I got my release papers. I got to go home and like tell my mom that I'm gay, basically. And Eddie's character was just like, yo, like you're going to be a free man. Like, what are you talking about? And, when they first get to the prison, they, tell them about the gun line, and they're like, yo, if you cross this line, you about to get sprayed up. And so essentially his character commits suicide and was like, I'm not going home. And he crosses that line. And then Bernie's character, who was hilarious in this film.
yeah,
Jangline.
He's hilarious, but they had a relationship, and they let him cross the line to, look at the body. And I was like, damn, I forgot about how heavy this movie got. But even like you were saying, AJ, a lot of those overlying themes, there are definitely some moments where I was a little uncomfortable, because I was like, looking at this in a different lens, I was like, damn, like, yeah, I'm like, I'm always going to laugh at Nigga Pie. I'm always going to laugh at that scene. But I definitely, I was starting to get a little, I didn't get like, like, oh my God, racism in America and da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Like, I knew I was there for laughs. But there was a little corner in my brain. I was like, ooh, I want to smack
it kind of reminds me of like a Dave Chappelle stand-up.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Right.
Which is where it's like, it's funny, but I'm telling you the truth.
Right.
Or like,
yeah, that's a good point.
And that's why the movie to me is so perfectly named.
yeah.
Right.
Because it's not just them getting life in prison, but they touch on a lot of different topics that you go throughout life. Different types of people, whether it be coming out to your family, whether it be like unfair circumstances where you put in all this work with this person and this person makes it and you get stuck in this situation.
Yeah.
Whether it be this person admits that they were wrong all along, but it does not change your circumstances.
And
like
what's happened up until then?
Yeah. So like it touches on what you do go throughout life, but this is also a good representation of like how strong of actors a lot of comedians are, because all this whole movie is full of comedians, and they're all like they're taking these real life issues and they're making them funny, but they're still touching on the issue, like them explaining how different Harlem, New York was from traveling down south, just walking in to get pie, and and can't get it. Like they made that scene funny, but it was the truth.
Yeah.
And then even in the gambling scene, like this is one of my, I feel like it's so underrated. So when they after Eddie Murphy gets hustled out of his money, before they went in there, Martin didn't want to go in, and Eddie Murphy gives Martin $2 and say, all right, well, you stay out here and watch the truck, and I'm gonna go in there and have myself a good time. So Martin ends up going in, and he ends up going upstairs with basically a lady of the evening. And so Eddie Murphy comes back from getting hustled, and he's like, hey, so this fool gambled me out my money. He hustled me out my socks. He beat me down to my socks. You still got that $2 I gave you? We gonna need that to help us get back home. And he was like, nah, I met this lady, and her son's getting ready to go into surgery. And he was like, the same lady I seen you coming from upstairs with? He was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, her son's getting ready to go into surgery and she needed some money. And he was like, oh, just like $2 worth? He was like, yeah. And he was like, and she was like, they asked the church and, the Lord, and he was like,
it was like they needed 100 or something.
Yeah, and then he says, well, I guess we both got fucked. Because while you were upstairs doing God's work, I was not getting me out of my socks.
Even before that, I like when he was like, Martin was describing the lady and all her issues, and Eddie was like, yeah, she sounded like she was in trouble. Sounded like she had a lot going on, you idiot.
But yeah, so the movie, like I said, it had a bunch of like funny moments like that, but it also like touched on a lot of like, even like visually, like they showed a montage of people going and coming from prison, like people passing away in prison and them aging in prison, and how sad that could be, and how
fading,
and how like one friendship could change the way you process time.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know, them getting into their little dispute and not talking for all that time made time go by a little slower, a little longer. Yeah.
Whatever.
And then even like with the ending, they basically touched on like only you are going to be able to fix your situations.
Right.
Like this whole time, you know, they're relying, or well, they weren't working together, but they were hoping and relying that them finding somebody else to help them was going to solve their problem. Yeah. And then they kind of realized like, all right, well, if we don't fix it, it's never going to get fixed.
Right. Yeah. The thing for me too that stands out the most about this film, I love Martin Lawrence in this, but Eddie Murphy makes me laugh so hard in this movie. I mean, even just simple lines, he just makes so funny. When him and Martin have one of their first little squabbles in the prison, this nigga, he said, "Don't go to sleep, nigga. Don't you go to sleep." Martin's like, "Don't you go to sleep. Don't you go to sleep, nigga. Don't you go to..." Just the way Eddie's delivery in a lot of these lines kills me. Like, literally, like, my little notes, like, I'm just literally, like, laughing, like, trying to, like, literally, and you could tell, like, in some of the writing, too, when they first revealed that Can't Get Right gets Mass's daughter pregnant, and they go down the line of everybody.
He
Puts the baby next to the face. But the part that kills me is when Biscuit steps up. This man said, "Any fool can see that baby belongs to me." That is so Eddie and like Charlie Murphy comedy right there. Like that shit made me. That was the hardest laugh that they got out of me. Like, I love Eddie in this film, bro. That's the Eddie Murphy that I know and love.
Great movie, man.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah. What
I feel
else?
like, do we give it its flowers enough? I think it was. I think it's hilarious. Like, there's nothing bad you can say about it. And like you were saying, it perfectly. There's so many real life themes in it, and it touches on so many important topics or just real things, and also makes it funny.
Yeah.
It's just masterfully done.
Yeah, and it stretches out a little bit too. It's like almost an hour and 50 minutes long. Like it's a longer comedy, you know, than usual. A lot of times you just get hour 15, hour 10, maybe.
You don't even feel it though. You're just
you don't feel it at all. Like, but they let a lot of stuff breathe. Like they let a lot of corners of the film like breathe. Like Eddie and Martin's character introducing each other, them being at the jail or the prison, and then they have an entire like, you know, fourth act of them being old as hell and, you know, going through things as older black men in America, still dealing with a lot of the ills, you know, from when they were younger. So it's like, it was very, you know, looking at it again in like a different eye. Cause I remember this film fondly as a younger person, you know, as a child, but now seeing it through a different lens, it's like, wow, like they really did take time to kind of, again, show you the different facets and layers of life in a really comedic way.
But yeah, even at the end, I was like, all right, they're out, but they just had their whole, basically not their whole life wasted, but their whole life wasted in prison, just off of.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, they're getting to what people call those golden years, I guess. They're getting to at least some sense of like freedom and happiness, like towards the end. And then like talking about what you guys were talking about, like showing his flowers or whatever. One, in today's world, an hour and 50 minutes is a short movie. Yeah, the movies that come out now are
for a comedy. Would you say it's?
I do think it's a longer movie, but I'm just saying in the time frame that it came out, I think if this movie came out today, it would get way more flowers. Reason being, like, is it came out during a time where, like, if you had a star-studded black cast, it was automatically deemed a black movie. It wasn't. It wasn't like a widely accepted, you know, like movie, film like now, because in my opinion, it's like trendy for some people to like have, you know, black leading roles, etc. So they were doing this back then when it wasn't as popular. Right. So I think that's another reason why it doesn't get its flowers. But it's also one of those movies like where for people, for the most part, the people who've seen it, like if you bring it up, they was like, oh my gosh, that movie was really good. Like I forgot how good that movie was, but it's just not the first thing that comes to mind when they're thinking about it. And then when you go back and rewatch it, of course you're going to remember all the funny stuff, but you're also going to see exactly what you guys are talking about. Like it's not just funny. There's a lot of substance.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was in the movie.
One of my first notes was that this movie could, what you said, stand up now and still a really good movie, even if it was released right now, and no one would be able to tell that it was made 20 plus years ago now.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting. Like Eddie did this 10 years prior in '89 with Harlem Nights, another star-studded period piece comedy, you know, with, I mean, legends. I mean, I'm looking at the cast: Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Arsenio Hall. Like, so he's definitely, you know, he's tried to put these type of films on the resume where it's like he, again, like I was trying to say with comedy, like trying to add new layers to the genre so that it's not just like a straight slapstick or just like jokey joke. Like this is like, it, you know, gives you a couple things to think about while laughing at the same time.
Did you know he gave a nod to Harlem Nights in Life?
Did he? Where?
So Eddie Murphy gets punched in the face in Harlem Nights. Who's the character that punches him in the face?
Oh yeah,
Della Reese or Della. And so when he's fighting in the prison, that big fight, he gets in the prison. He, the first time he gets hit, he says, "I know a bitch named Della that hits harder than you."
And you know, I was waiting for like that punching sound when he got punched, but I thought it was gonna be like that. But yeah, I mean, I guess like this was a little bit. There are still parts of the of life where it is still like there's some wacky parts where it's like, okay, we're still in the comedy, like when he tries to fly away and shit in the airplane, and like just some really funny wacky scenes too. That's just like you still get that wacky Eddie Murphy style comedy. Let's see what else I got in my notes here.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy new movies are timeless. I feel like
timeless. Also a legendary blooper reel and legendary memeable moments like Anthony Anderson rubbing on the wall, looking sneakily at the daughter. Legendary meme to this day all over social media. Martin Lawrence turnovers and shut that shit up. Or we ain't trying to hear that bullshit, man. I think there was another one that I wrote down. Like, it's just like so many moments. And again, like you don't realize until you like actually sit down and watch some of these films back how iconic and how embedded they are into our culture. So it's like, I really
I feel like that's the best part for me is watching an older movie and be like, oh yeah, like tons of callbacks in everyday life or whatever.
Yeah, and then I mean, especially watching it now, it's kind of like, all right, well, you rest in peace to Heavy D, rest in peace to Bernie Mac. Like you see them like literally being masters.
Yeah.
And like I said, like these are people who aren't traditional actors. And not once do we get pulled out of the film to think like, all right, yeah, like I'm tired. It's like
Bernie Mac's probably like top 3 funniest people to ever live.
Right.
I feel like
just naturally. Just naturally.
Like if you don't even know his stand up, like yeah, exactly. Like just absolutely hilarious.
Like even in Head of State, I'm sure half of the stuff that he said, he was just riffing. He was just like
yeah. Oh, for sure.
He was nothing better than him slapping people in Head of State.
When he gets
was nothing.
When he gets off the train.
Oh my! From
Head of State is an underrated movie too.
Yeah, from he was coming from the hip, slapping people. Super funny.
Yeah.
But
any more notes in your thesis?
Let's see. Oh man. Oba Baba Tunde. So this guy here, guys, Oba Baba Tunde, he plays, I forget the name of his character in this film, but he's an actor. He's a very tenured, I mean, even at this point in 99, very tenured actor. Funny story with him. He came to like a small film like class or film seminar. My dad took my brother, my cousins and I to this little film seminar shit in downtown Miami. And he was the guest, He was the surprise guest speaker, and it's a funny like inside joke with our family because we had no clue who this man was. We had no clue who Oba Baba Tunde was, and the entire time we totally thought like the seminar, like they like pumped it up, like, oh, we gonna have like, I don't even know like who's popping. This was like 5-6 years ago, maybe even longer. We were actually like kids. I was like a younger teen. Long story short, Oba Baba Tunde shows up. He's in this film. I think this is probably like his best like credit, but like he's a really tenured, like good actor. But yeah, inside joke with my cousins and I, we had no clue who this man was. And my cousin audibly in the back, he was in the back screwing around during the seminar, was not paying attention, not even interested in the film. Don't know why we brought him. But anyway, he was in the back and the man walked in and that nigga said, who? Who? Oba Barack Obama, who is this? I was like, my cousin Daniel. Shout out to Daniel.
Maybe if he had gotten that life-changing role of Tokyo Drift, more people
Omari would know about it. All right, we can go with ratings. I'm gonna give it a 8.5. I thought it was good. I just have the same.
Are you looking at me like?
I saw your face when I said it, but
that's low for me. I'm gonna give it like a 9.5.
Yeah,
9.5. Watching this movie back, I really because after in the early 2000s, like going into the new millennium, Eddie was starting to like it was getting a little shaky. We were starting to get into Daddy Daycare territory, Nutty Professor territory. Not even Nutty Professor. What was the other? Dr. Dolittle territory.
You're literally naming all the movies that's better than Tokyo Drift.
You think the Dr. Dolittle?
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Dolittle's
really?
lit.
You think so?
Yes.
He talks to animals, bro.
I don't
Can
know
Bow Wow
about
do
those.
that?
I don't even, the movie.
Whoa. We're not. Did you
I have
just say
some-
you
we
don't
can go
like
a little-
dogs?
I do like dogs, but not movie dogs. I don't like, it took those it took a lot to get those Dr. Dolittle
Do I need
movies
to
with
sit
the
in the middle
animals.
game?
I'm just saying, I don't even want to take it there with the animal stuff in film, but I do like Dr. Dolittle. I don't know if it's better than Tokyo Drift, but I will say that this is a very, very highlight moment for Eddie in terms of his comedic talent. Like he just kills me in this film, so I'll definitely go ahead and give it a 9 as well. I think this is one of Eddie's funniest films, specifically Eddie. But I mean, the entire cast kills it. But
Yeah.
Eddie is so good in this movie, man. Like so funny, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely probably rating it lower, but
I mean, this was your first time watching it.
yeah.
Yeah, this is your first
Well,
time
I've seen parts of it before. I just never seen it in its entirety.
You ought to
Which
be
is
ashamed
the-
of yourself.
Yeah.
And then other
But
underrated.
I mean, that happens. So there's movies like I remember saying like, oh, I'm gonna watch this like when I get older or something, and then it happens. There's
But
tons of
again,
movies.
like Anthony Anderson, Guy Torry, another dope comic.
honestly, it should probably get a 9 just
know.
because Bernie Mac was in it.
Bernie
Killed it.
Mac.
Bro, the
Rick
list of
James.
comedians, the list is too many.
like Sanaya Lathan with a quick little cameo. Like you got like
That heifer.
Matt. Oh,
I didn't like her in this movie. I did not like her in this movie.
Bokeem,
Yes.
like another incredible. He's an underrated actor. If we gonna
I
talk
literally
seriously,
listed him in
Did
my
you?
underrated
You
actors.
did.
He
You
don't
sure
pay
did.
attention to me.
Yeah, well, hey,
But
what?
if
I'm
I was
sorry.
hustling Jordans and
Out of your green cube. Out of your green Hulk cube.
After you went in on Tokyo Drift a couple weeks ago, I just started, not just playing. But yeah, like just a lot of good stuff in here, man. I thoroughly enjoyed this, bro. For the, like 10th time. What else do we have here, folks? Yeah, I think that's it, man. Like, let's see here. Yeah, that was about it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, you took the time to type it out. I want to make sure you get your.
Yeah, I mean, I like that whole fleshed out moment with them as older people working in the big house, Officer Wilkins, or Old Man Wilkins shooting the officer that had, had them in that situation in the first place, stole his watch that was owned by his father, Ray's father.
Just say what? Say make the
Say
what? Just say I swear. Say watch
You
one
better
more
not
time.
ever say a W word again.
At first I was like,
just
what?
move.
What?
Just move your lips to say watch.
But yeah, that was like kind of like the small little through line. His father's watch being
Yeah.
I mean, that was like one of the main like little pieces there. And so to get that back, that was pretty powerful. And yeah, even the exchange between Martin and Wilkins in the house talking about, his circumstances, and it was like, yo, like, you know, life ain't that bad for you, Mr. Wilkins. You know what I'm saying? I was in bondage damn near for my entire adult life. So yeah, a lot of really cool stuff in this film, man. Excellent legendary comedy.
All right. Sign it off with that. This has been another episode of What We Watching.